Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Caribbean. Today we're enjoying a lovely day down here in Antigua, but it's time to move on, and we are going to head north up to Princess Juliana International Airport, located on the island of St Maarten. Famous for its hotels, its mountains to the east, and of course the beach at the end of the runway where everyone stands and gets blasted by sand like they're in a giant sandblaster. That's where we're headed, but on the way up, we're going to overfly the island of Basseterre, slightly to the west, and then we'll head up and into St Maarten. The weather here is looking really good. We're on live time and live weather. Winds are out of the east at 10 knots. I'll throw that up into the chat. As you can see, a few clouds in the area are at starting at 2,100 feet. Temperatures balmy 28 degrees Celsius. 1015 is the barometer. Things are similar up in St Maarten. We have wind 090 at 4 knots. Few scattered clouds at 1,600 feet, 26 degrees, QNH 1017. Looks like they may have showers coming shortly. So we'll see how the weather is when we get there, but for now it is looking pretty good. So we're going to hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft all set up. Okay, we're inside here. Flying again the lovely Cessna Caravan. A few people off to the northeast there. So first thing we're going to do is get the fuel tanks on. We'll turn on the nav and beacon lights. We'll throw the battery on. We'll get the engine up so she can warm up for us. We'll pull the inertial separator, get a little bit of lighting up on the panel. Get rid of that, we don't need it. We will put the lights up a bit so that we can see. Alright, so ignition will go on, fuel boost pump will go on, generators are on, and we are good to start. The avionics on. Need the engine gauges. There we go. Alright, she's spinning up. We'll take the fuel from cutoff to low idle. And there we go. Kill the caution light. Gonna get rid of the insert there. Very quickly, while that spins up, we're gonna put on our winds to where I want it. Our transponder will go into VFR mode. And we're set. A couple of things we're going to do as we get set up. Engine's up, so that will come off. That will go back to normal. Ignition will go to normal. We'll get the second avionics package up. So we're going to put in our route. Our route's going to be fairly simple. We're going to do a direct to, and then we're going to put in our approach. But we're going to manually fly out to the other island of Basseterre. So we want Tango, November, Charlie, Mike. And there it is, Princess Juliana. Enter, that's now in. We'll put in our procedure as well. We're going to go in on the RNAV runway 10. RNAV 10. We are going in through Zapta. So we will come down to Zapta. That's just north of Basseterre. And should be able to put in our... No, that's all good. We'll come down to our... activate. And there we go. So our route's all set. We'll just knock that out a little bit. We'll put in our barometer, which we mentioned was 1015. It's this one. There we go. 1015 is set. CDI will go to the beacon, but what we're going to do is come over to the airport, and there are no nav aids there. It's strictly GPS based, so not even any beacons or anything. No, correction. Where is that beacon located? .113.0. Let's try that. See what we get out of that. So we'll go 113.0. That may be the St Maarten beacon. Didn't show up on the charts, so I have to find it somewhere else. So we'll throw that in, and we will come over to here, and we'll put that up. See if we pick that up when we get closer. Okay. So we are pretty much ready to go. Take a look, see who's around us here. It's got one other aircraft. Not sure if that's Kevin or Talia flying along with us today. What we are going to do, because the winds are straight down the runway and we don't need all the length, we're going to taxi down this way. We'll come out. There's no need to backtrack. We'll just take off from there. So we're going to make a let's see. We'll make a left-hand turn around. All right. So the taxi lights are on, and I believe we are set to go. We'll set the initial altitude of 2,000 feet. Oh, you're logging in? Okay. Alright, so there's the brakes are off. Talia, is this your first flight since you did the memory upgrade? So we're going to head down to the other end. Hey, Nick. How you doing? Hey, J3. Good to see you as well. So yeah, we're just going to carry on down Taxiway Alpha here to the A intersection point, and then we'll take off from there. No need to backtrack all the way. Which should give us close to, I don't know, 6,500, 7,000 feet. Don't have intersection information, but that's pretty good. Especially for this airplane. Well, hopefully it's all working for you. I don't know, Jayshree. I kind of like to think of you as working on your school worm. So the glide path is clear. Oh, is it completely moved through your area? How bad was it? My aunt, who lives southwest of Manchester, was saying that the winds were pretty high. Oh, there's Kevin, a single seat jet. I wonder what he's flying. I wonder if he's got the meteorite. Alright, so we'll get the parking brake on. We'll get the strobes on, landing lights on. We're going to be taking off and flying runway heading for the initial. So we'll get our runway heading set up. I thought I had the meteor still logged in. Yeah, Kevin, what are you flying today? Maybe I did take it out, or they did an update and it's because I'm not running the current version. Alright, we're back in. We're good to go. Everything is set. Can you get a little bit more cockpit light? There we go. We're set on there. Everything is set there. We'll bring the fuel up to flight idle. And propeller is fully forward. Alright, everything is stable. So brakes are off. Power coming up. $60 knots, 65. A little bit of back pressure, and we are up. Here goes the jet. So autopilot on, run in heading mode. We'll go flight level change. Flaps coming up. And we're aiming for 2,000 feet. And the prop back to 1800 for the climb. And power is on the bug. So I'm going to turn the landing lights off, or leave the recognition lights on. As soon as we hit 1,000 feet, we'll start our turn to about 300 degrees. There's 1,000 feet. 300 degrees coming up. Should we bring it down to about 280? We'll see where that puts us. So we are going to cross over the north side of Antigua here. There's the airport. And 2,000 feet coming up. Hello, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so we're starting to level off. Bring the prop back to 1,700. Set the power for cruise. And as I mentioned, we're heading out towards the island of Basseterre before we start on our way up. There's a small island south of there. Not sure what it's called. I think it's part of Basseterre. We'll fly over that, then we'll fly over Basseterre, then we'll come in for the approach into St Maarten. And we're picking up the St Maarten VOR already, which is fantastic. So we can close the inertial separator now. We're in the air. Bit of low cloud. We're on, again, live weather, live time. Everything is looking good. There's the islands that we're heading out to. See the beautiful Caribbean waters down here. A few vessels as well. Are you doing a VAT? VAT sim? No, this is this flight is multiplayer. I'm not doing a VAT sim flight, Scott, but what I'm testing long distance flights for long haul with the memory upgrade. I did a test, a bare bones test yesterday from Vancouver to Tokyo to see when the stuttering would start, and it started to kick in after 9 hours. So what I'm going to do about a half an hour after this flight finishes, I'm going to do a complete flight from Halifax to Vancouver in multiplayer, no streaming. So I've set up a text channel on the Discord if anyone wants to come along. It'll be on the multiplayer, on the Northern Europe multiplayer channel, but I'm going to be running it as a full flight with packs and all my planning and everything done, but not streaming. And I want to see how it performs on a 6-hour long-range flight. On Tuesday, I'm going to do a test stream, and that will not be on VATSIM again, but it's going to be on multiplayer, and I'll probably do about a 7-hour flight somewhere, not sure where yet, but that's going to have the streaming software going as well. I'm ramping it up in testing to see how it does. So if you remember last time when we passed 4 hours roughly, it would start with the stuttering. And I've done 5 hours up to 6-hour flights, and they seem to have been okay. But I'm trying to get into 787. So there's a Discord channel set up called Cockpit Text Chat, and it's just a place for whoever's flying that can chat back and forth. But yeah, I'm going to basically just do a flight from Halifax to Vancouver, all the bells and whistles minus the streaming, just to see how the sim does and how it goes. Again, I noticed after 8 hours everything seemed fine. After 9 hours I started to get it, and I was descending into the Tokyo area around 10-ish hours, 10 hours, 15 minutes, and it was really getting stuttery. So I'm just doing testing as we go along, because I do want to get back into the long hauls. So if we can do 7-hour tops flights, I think that would be pretty good. Yeah, I'm relearning the 787 as well, so I don't want to do too much on VATSIM with it yet. We will for the actual streams, like when we do the long haul flights, but for the testing I'll just do it on multiplayer. That's allowing me to get used to the aircraft again and relearn where everything is, and doing my approaches and flight planning and working my way through the computers and everything. So we're heading off to St Maarten, as mentioned. Next week's stream, we're not going to progress on the tour of the Caribbean, but we are going to head off and do a couple interesting flights. So more information on that. We'll be departing in we'll be departing from St Maarten. We'll be returning to St Maarten, but we're going to go to 2 different airports for some fun flying. So information for that will come up in the Discord as well. So I do have the St Maarten airport from Orbex, so mine may look a little bit different from yours if you don't have it. I did put the freeware one up in the Discord a little while ago, so that adds a little bit to it as well. Makes it look interesting. Oh, sailboat down there. I do have a the boat mod from Orbex that adds yachts and stuff around St Maarten and that. It's pretty cool. Little sailboat going between the islands. Of course, we got the freighter off there. Here's the first island we're heading out. It's got some interesting town names such as Fig Tree and Market Shop in Charlestown. But it looks like it's a bit of a peak there. So we'll swing around the peak and then come in the other side and we'll go up Basseterre, where it also has interesting places such as Old Road Town, Monkey Hill. Yeah, I know, eh? It's quite the industry for payware. Oh, tell you, one thing I did hear, Fly Tampa said that one of their priority airports for this year is Toronto. So we could have a highly detailed Toronto coming very soon. I've already got FS Dream Teams Vancouver. Toronto would be nice. It'd be good to get the hubs. Montreal would be a good one. And I believe somebody is working on Calgary, or going to start working on Calgary. And I think there's a Halifax, so that would be pretty cool. Just see if yeah, F Sim Studios has produced a payware Halifax. I might have that. I don't know. Yeah, I've got Romans, Ottawa, Buttonville, Brampton. I've got his freeware scenery. Oh, and somebody is doing a Toronto Island, CYTZ. So that'll be an interesting one. Anyway, there's the island, getting closer. Good to hear. Hope your flight's going well today, too. Give that memory a test. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Ah, why'd that come onto the screen there? Let's go to our library. I had Fly Tampa's Toronto for FSX, So I'm really surprised it's taken them this long to come out with it, but I'm glad they finally are. I do like FS Dream Team's Vancouver. We've seen it on the streams a couple times. Looks really nice. Just setting up a little chat thing in the Discord, a thread for the flight after this. Alright. So we got the little town, let's see if I can find it where it is, of Market Shop is somewhere up here. We got Fig Tree, town of down here. Turn a little bit more towards the island now. Yeah, I was surprised when the stuttering started. I went and looked. My CPU was at 26%. My GPU was at like 22%. So I have no idea what causes the stuttering. I did see something in a link on a video where the guy talked about a property setting for the EXE. So I've made that change, which talks about optimization or something. J3, the one after this, no, it's going to be multiplayer. Not a VATSIM flight. I'm doing testing, and I don't want to be trying to concentrate on VATSIM if it's busy while I'm doing some tests on my performance. It's just a test flight I was going to do, but I figure I'd do it on multiplayer if anyone wanted to come along and fly it as well. So this is on the other side of the hill here. We have Charlestown. Charlestown over here. This is cotton ground. That's what they call this area up here. So you can see the fairly big hill here. This is just kind of like the peak of a small mountain sitting in the Caribbean.
Across Ontario, more workers are joining the skilled trades. as resources and industries in the north become part of the future of clean steel and electric vehicles.
Kind of neat. The erosion has
bridges and highways
obviously weathered it. So here's Basseterre, stretches all the way out. It's a little town called Fleming Estate over here.
Paid for by the government of Ontario.
We'll go take a look at that. Alright. See if the bot's awake. Should be. Yep, bot's awake. There's Fleming Estate right there. So 2600 is the entry into the sim. So we're going to go up to 2600. Let's get a little bit more power. Let's get a little bit of a climb going. Beautiful little bay here. I mean, this would be a great place to live. Have your own little helicopter landing pad. Show off. Nice harbor. It's Catane Village. And this is the main population area in through here. So as we're flying up, we'll get the weather for where we're headed to. As I mentioned before, winds are 090 at 4, scattered clouds 1600, 26 degrees, QNH 1017. There's been no update. This is about an hour old. Throw it into the chat. The airport for the town. It's like Kevin's buzzing the poor guy down there in his Cessna 152. This area is fairly populated. And we've got a bunch of towns all up around, and again we've got the mountains in the center. See the layer of cloud up there? That's up towards where we're headed. A little bit of a turn here. So that was not what we wanted. We want 2600. Which we're at now, so we'll bring the power back. There we go. St Maarten is off this way. We're going to head out this way to pick up the next waypoint. can see this has us going to Zapat, which is the entry point into the star. So we're going to come down and we'll just head off on the approach. And we'll let the aircraft do its thing. We're going to head out here, pick up the point coming in. Kevin's off flying. We'll get a look at the island here. There's a lot of farms. So we got an F-18 down there now. Which is very nice. Got another airport or another island over there. And there's another one just past it. There are people there. There's little villages and settlements on it. Starting to head out to intercept our GPS nav course. Go. Lovely. Just towel you back there. Another ship. It's great being able to see the Caribbean islands. I don't know, Kevin, the way you're flying, you might just spill that drink. Unless you've got your Guinness in a sippy cup. I'm going to bring up the Discord channel in case anyone wants to come over. All my live streams are open for everybody. They're either multiplayer or VATSIM. On the Discord you can find all the information for the flights, where we're headed, the aircraft you need, whether it is multiplayer or VATSIM, all that type of stuff. Everything you need to help join in on the flights. And it's everything from general aviation, airplanes, small little single engine jobbies, up to the airliners. We do a variety. And we fly around the world. Alright, we're now on the approach. Or the, yeah, no, it's the approach. This is the RNAV for runway 10. Stick the oxygen line into the keg. Yeah. So yesterday was interesting. It took me 2 reboots and 3 reloads into the airport in order for me to get multiplayer up and running on Willie's flight yesterday. What a pain that was. Although I gotta say, Kevin, it was a lot of fun flying low in that. I think they were rather amazed at what we were doing. Me and the Spitfire, you and the ME-109.
Then you're ETA to get started. Some conditions apply.
Business license 12616.
I've got Willie's next flight when we go in 2 weeks. I've got a nice Rockies flight planned. So I've sent it in for review. So it should be a nice scenic flight. I might fly the Twin Otter out there. Yeah, I can see. Oh, I did see the Twatter out that way. Somebody's flying an Icon over this way. I think that's St Maarten's out that way. I believe that's first. No, that's not it. There's another island over here. You lost the second half of the stream. Oh, yeah, when he had that issue and it reset. Yeah. Still not exactly sure what happened there. He said something about a issue with his headphones, but I'm not sure why that would cause his system to crash the way it did. It was kind of weird though. No, there's the other island. I knew I saw another island out there somewhere. It was behind those clouds. You can see the curving approach that we're going to do in. $27.5 miles out. A little bit of cloud. Still can't see the island. I think it's over there. It was funny, one of the, I talked to a guy who used to fly airliners back in the 50s, 60s and stuff, and he said when he was flying in the Pacific, the way you found the islands where you were headed to was you looked for the clouds, because the clouds always seem to form over the islands. So you could tell, usually if it was all clear sky and there was a little section of cloud, you knew there was an island under there. So we're going to be landing to the east. Oh yeah, that does get you. That gets me sometimes too. On my own streams. So most of the aircraft coming in and departing will land and depart to the east. There's a mountain at east to the runway. You can come in and land westward if it's got strong west winds, but only during the day in visual conditions. So you can't land at IMC, only VMC. But most of the winds down here, this is the part of the world where the winds, you can come out of the east. Hence the storms that come over and the hurricanes that brew out of Africa and stuff, that the winds are coming from the east down here. So I guess it's very rare that they would get easterly winds like that. Some fair-sized clouds out here. Again, live weather. This is what it's like down here right now. And live time as well. I think the island's somewhere under that cloud layer there. Yeah. Seen it happen. Oh, there's an island. That could be it. So this is the same route the airliners come in on. Oh, there's the Throtter. B350, that's a King Air. We got the Cessna 152 and the Icon A5 over there. Gladys PC6. Cessna 172 coming off of this island over here. And we got an Airbus A320neo climbing out there. So fairly busy in the skies around here. Yeah, I think I mentioned I was at the Brampton Airport once, and I saw a guy in his home-built. I think he had a very low landing speed, but it was so windy that he was basically hovering over the runway, not moving forward or back. He had it nicely balanced. I think he was about 5 knots above his stall speed. It was pretty impressive. I remember we were flying back in the museum airplanes from an air show in New York State, and we flew up to the southern side of Lake Ontario and then turned westward to head to St. Catharines, where we would land and clear customs. And usually that's about a 50-minute flight out of the airport where the air show was held at. But it was really windy that day, and we made the turn westward from northward heading. And after a minute or two, you saw all the pilots looking out, open cockpit biplanes and stuff. You saw the pilots all looking out the cockpits at the ground below. And somebody asked if anyone had a GPS, which I did. So I did a quick check on ground speed. And while our cruise speed was around 95 knots, our ground speed was like 33. So it took us over 2 hours to get just to St. Catharines. And then it was another hour and a half from there to get back to Brampton. And what takes us usually 2 hours, 10 minutes, took us close to 3 hours 45. Almost 4 hours. So we're coming up to Yuma. Vancouver's FS Dream Team. So there's Yuma coming up, and we're on the approach. I'm trying to get into the clouds. So we'll get the landing lights on. We'll do our approach check. So landing lights are set. Fuel is fully forward. Prop is still back. We'll keep it back for a little bit until we're actually onto the approach path. We are at the intercept altitude at Avaki. And everything else is pretty well set. Avionics roll on, switches are good. Well, there's the bottom of the island. So St. Maarten is split. There's the northern half, which is French, which is would be St Maarten. And then there's the bottom half, which is Dutch, St Maarten, but spelt differently. Probably pronounced differently too, but I don't have my Dutch. Alright, so we're 12 miles out from the VOR. We're going to go this way a little bit longer, and as you can see, we're going to arc up and around. It's going to be 3-degree down angle. We get about 525 feet per minute descent rate once we get slowed down. We've got plenty of room when we land. So I'm going have to worry about cutting it too short. We should see the people as we come over the beach, as per normal. We'll make sure we get a look. Looks like Mr. Ramstein here is turning into a submarine. So we're now having up to a vacuum, which we had to be at 2,600 feet for. And once we go through there, we're going down to 1,700, which is the intercept altitude for the glide slope. We got a 767-300 sitting over there as well right now. Kind of in and out of some of these clouds here. There's Kevin up above. All right. Starting to see some lights over the island there. We're about to make our turn. So landing lights are on. We're all set and ready to go. As soon as we begin the turn, we'll start making our flight level change to get us down to 1,700. Basically, we're going to go into flight level change mode, and then we'll pull the power back. And as we do that, we'll also bring the propeller fully forward. And there we go. So we're beginning to flip. Flight level change. Props coming back. RPM is fully forward. Heading down to 1,700 feet. See our glide slope, glide path indicators come up. $1,700 feet coming in. We're now in approach mode. There's the airport environment ahead of us. I'll turn the radio off now. Speed's down 112. We'll go with first notch of flaps. Kick the speed up a little bit. Nose is coming down, bring us onto the path. Keep the speed at about 102 at the moment. Coming up for Leesore. Got 1 mile to go, and we should kick into the glide path. we are. And I can see the runway ahead. We're 3 miles out. Second notch flaps going in. And we'll get the view there so we can see what's happening. We're going to bring the speed back to about 85. It's going to be a right-hand turnout once we're on the ground. It's 85 knots. And there's the guys behind us. Looks like we got a A320 coming in behind us as well. Not sure what Kevin's doing. He might be photographing our landing. Oh, we got some cloud coming in. It's interesting. So we're at landing speed. You can see the hotels there on the left, the famous hotels where people can watch the aircraft coming in. Some closer hotels a little bit further in, and see the hotels there. There's a couple hotels. There's a great beach bar here. You can watch the planes coming in as well. And down here is the famous beach where everybody stands doing their thing. We'll see these hotels in a minute. We'll be able to see all the yachts and everything here in the harbors. This is the French side over here, and the airport is on the Dutch side. So everything is looking good. Slightly low, but we're not coming in visual. We're coming in on the GPS flight path. See some of the boats starting to appear. Yeah, everything is looking good. 500 feet. Autopilot's off. Maintaining at 85 knots, that'll give us a good landing speed. So we got a jet getting ready to come out. He's going to pull it in front of me. Like the dumbass he is. Looks like two jets are moving out at the same time. Of course they are. You see the hotels on the left, there's the beach bar on the right, and we should start seeing people there in a second on the beach when they load in. There they are. Power back. And we are down. Put a reverser action there on the brakes. And we'll turn in. Welcome to St Maarten. Yeah, just ignore him, tell you. I just landed on top of him. It's a problem with multiplayer. They tend to not follow the rules. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are off. Alright, looks like they want us over here. we can do that. So we're going into C7. There we go. Oh, a cruise ship out there. Nice. Alrighty. Welcome to St Maarten. Alright, we'll bring the propeller back into aisle. Yeah, you don't go that way, dude. Not sure what he's doing. He just taxied down to the far end. Alright, we'll bring the fuel back to low idle. And we'll start shutting everything down so the taxi lights can come off. Avionics 2 will come off. Engine's cooled down. Shutter down. So fuel boost is off. Avionics are off. Lights are off. And the battery's off. And here we all are. So welcome to St Maarten. As I mentioned, next week we will be flying from here out to a couple of the local islands and do some landings out there. See the sights and enjoy. And once again, in half an hour, I will be doing the flight from Halifax to Vancouver, 787, on multiplayer, Northern European server. So if you want to join in, you're more than welcome. I'll be in the chat room on the Discord for the flight, just if anyone wants to do a little bit of chat there. And there's that A320 coming in. Oh, there we go. Portugal Airlines. Very nice. All right, thank you very much for joining us on this flight. We will see you tomorrow when we carry on with the tour of Norway. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.